House stated that some unknown persons in Nigeria demanded huge payments in digital currency to resolve the problem. The company had pointed out that its representative.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives has stepped down a motion calling for the suspension of the cybersecurity levy, which has elicited negative reactions from Nigerians. Honorable Manu Zoro, who moved the motion on the floor of the House today, had explained that the levy was coming at the wrong time, considering the current state of the nation's economy and the living conditions of Nigerians. The lawmaker had argued that the National Security Advisor is a political officer and has no mandate to manage accruals. However, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, urged the lawmaker to step down the motion to allow the leadership of the House to deliberate on how best to address the situation.
In the same vein, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has described the planned cybersecurity levy introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, on all electronic transactions as another burden on Nigerians. Reacting to the policy, the NLC President, Joe Ajaero, said such deductions directly affects the disposable income of workers and further diminish the purchasing power of the common citizens. Also, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has vehemently rejected the Central Bank of Nigeria's recently announced. The union expressed deep concern over the introduction of yet another policy that burdens the already strained populace, particularly amidst prevailing economic challenges. NANS firmly denounced the CBN's directive to levy a 0.005 charge on electronic transfers, labeling it as an undue strain on hard-working Nigerians.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Ainikin Lokobiri, has said that the 17 oil blocks put forward for sale under the 2024 licensing bid rounds are not for politicians but investors with financial capacity and technical competence. The minister revealed this during a conference organized by the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PTAN, at the ongoing 2024 Offshore Technology Conference in Houston, Texas, United States. According to him, the move forms part of the efforts to drive investment and boost the nation's economic fortunes. The minister added that he's working closely this year.
Mechanical experts have urged transporters and road users to prioritize safety and avoid the risks associated with overloading, which outweigh any potential benefits. These experts made this known while speaking with BCOS News about the impact of vehicle overloading on fuel consumption rates, particularly in the midst of the skyrocketing palm prices. Our reporter, Adeola Oladili, files in the details.
As overloaded vehicles continue to plague roads in the country, their effects extend beyond mere inconvenience. They endanger the lives of drivers, passengers, and other road users, while also putting undue stress on the mechanical components of the vehicles. Beyond immediate safety concerns, overloaded vehicles, according to experts, also have a detrimental impact on fuel consumption rates, a serious concern currently in Nigeria. Have you ever thought of a correlation between the load pressure on a vehicle and the amount of fuel it consumes? The Dean, Faculty of Technology, University of Ibadan, Professor Isaac Bangboye, said it is crucial for vehicle owners to be aware of their vehicle's weight limits and adhere to them rigorously.
When the vehicle is overloaded, it affects the parts of passenger parts of the vehicle, like the shock absorbers and the likes. They get spoiled from time to time. So it is also having an adverse effect on the vehicle itself, apart from the high rate of fuel consumption. So what they thought they are making in cash by overloading.
Mechanical engineer and former vice chancellor of Nigeria's premier university, Professor Olufemi Bamiro, stated that overloading worsens the risk.
The number of seats I mean, that you have in the vehicle, although there are some people in this country, they do extra seats, which is unfortunate. But if you really look at the seats that have been provided, that is enough guidance, that it should not be more than that. People should sit comfortably, but by and large, they feel that they will make more money. But at the end of the day, the money will be dissipated through maintenance of the vehicle. I think we have to plead with government to take appropriate action to prevent overload. Otherwise, people will still continue to overload. If he knows that he gets a checkpoint, they will not allow him to go. He will still look for other ways.
The DOE emphasized on the culture of responsible road usage, especially by those in transportation business, to achieve durability of road and vehicles, as well as maximize profits. Adeola Oladele, BCOS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. Oyo State House of Assembly has urged the executive arm of government to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the abscondment of some staffers of the state across ministries, agencies, and parastatals. The House made a resolution following a motion presented by Honorable Babajide Adebayo.
The plenary of the State House of Assembly commenced after 2 weeks break for the local government election with the second reading of Customary Courts Amendment Bill 2024. The House also received the report of the Committee on Education, Tertiary Institutions, Science and Technology on its oversight visit to all tertiary institutions in the state. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Oluwafemi Oluwafowokanmi, who presented the report, urged the House to expedite action on the findings of the committee. In another development, Honorable Babajide Adebayo of Ibadan North 2 State Constituency presented a motion titled Need for Government to Conduct Comprehensive Investigation to Abscondment of some staffers of Oyo State Government across MDAs to save government money and allow injection of new crop of young graduates into the civil service. The motion co-sponsored by the Speaker, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, Ibarapa East, and the Leader of the House, Honorable Sanjo Adedoyin, Ogbomoso South, noted that some staffers of Oyo State Government who have absconded but are still on the payroll across MDAs, thereby shortchanging the government of funds which are meant to be channeled to other areas of public interest. Some lawmakers in their contributions charged the executive arm to put measures in place to conduct comprehensive investigation to curb the menace and save the public funds.
There are a lot of people that your working documents, your appraisal for the month, could not be determined by them. There are staffs, but a lot of staffs that are not actually present at their work posts at particular times. All this needs to be checked so that there will not be wasteful spending.
Even in the military and paramilitary, abscondment is a criminal offense.
They have been conducting staff auditing and they will come up with the same report every time, every day. That's what I want to add. That this house will move a bit forward. Maybe by advising the executive arm
In a related development, Honorable Mansuru Abiola, representing Akinyele 1 State constituency, presented a motion on the need for government to regulate indiscriminate erection of advertisement structures, particularly billboards, to safeguard safety of the road users and protect environmental aesthetic of the state. Honorable Abiola observed that the hazards they pose and the negative effects of the unregulated placement of these structures on the aesthetic beauty of the landscape calls for urgent attention.
The erection of billboards for outdoor advertising is one of the most potent and modern ways of reaching a large audience across the world. However, the indiscriminate erection of advertisement structures along road sites in Oyo State poses significant risk to the safety of road users and compromises the environmental aesthetics of the state.
The House also received a motion eulogizing the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, for the completion of the reconstruction of Asunle Arakpaja Odona Kekere Road, an appeal to construct speed breakers at some flash points on the newly reconstructed roads. The motion presented by Honorable Waheed Akintayo, representing Oluyole State constituency, lauded Governor Makinde for fulfilling some of his electioneering promises to the people of Oluyole local government in Omitutun 2.0.
Which have impacted positively on the socio-economic life of an average Oyo State indigene and resident in the state.
The House has adjourned its sitting till Thursday, 9th of May. Olamiposi Ishola, BCOS News.
The Rivers State chapter of the Association of Local Government Areas of Nigeria, ALGON, has accused Governor Siminalayi Fubara of withholding funds meant for LGAs in the state. The chairman of the association, who doubles as the chairman of Port Harcourt Local Government Area, Allwell Ihonda, stated this to newsmen today in Port Harcourt. He added that Governor Fubara had deliberately refused to hold the statutory Joint Account Allocation Committee meeting, which is the prerequisite for the release and disbursement of funds due to the local governments in the state joint local government accounts. The state ALGON, which said the action had denied them of their functions in the administration, backed the call by the caretaker committee chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Tony Okocha, for the State House of Assembly to commence impeachment proceedings against the governor. The chairman said the action of the governor is tantamount to proscribing local government councils in the state.
Addressing bullying requires collective responsibility of parents, educators, and the community at large to create a safe and supportive environment for and among students. According to stakeholders, this collaborative effort will not only protect the victims, but also educate the perpetrators and reduce its occurrence. In this report, Adiola Oladile examines measures that relevant institutions could implement to reduce the occurrence of bullying among students.
Bullying is not merely a rite of passage or a harmless part of growing up, but a serious form of abuse. Studies indicate that, aside from leading to psychological distress and low self-esteem, bullying can also have long-term effects on academic performance and mental health for both victims and perpetrators. While schools are meant to be safe havens for learning and growth, the reality is that many students face intimidation, harassment, and abuse from their peers on a daily basis. The recent incident at a private school in Abuja involving a female secondary school student being bullied by her peers serves as a wake-up call for schools, parents, and other stakeholders to take decisive actions against bullying.
What is name? Look, watch.
In a chat with BCOS News, the national coordinator, Concerned Parents and Educators Initiative, Mrs. Kemi Kolewo, emphasized that a child from an unhappy home who has experienced emotional distress from a parent can become a bully.
So as parents of a child that has been loved and empathy towards that child, it's a traumatic experience for a child to be bullied, especially with the recent one. I watched that video, and I, as a mother and a grandmother, I have a grandson who will be entering university very soon, and I can't just imagine my son or my grandson coming home and be so bullied the way that girl was bullied in the video. That was totally unacceptable in our society. I think the society kind of failed that lady.
Also reacting to this, a school owner, Chief Taiwo Aderele, said the fear of retaliation from students or even parents can create barriers to addressing bullying effectively.
In schools, it happens that we have bullying, but there is a lot that the school can do to reduce or stop bullying. It is the duty of the teachers to show example to students by being parents, by being their friends. So if the teachers behave politely, they address these children politely, then the students will have something to copy from them. But where you have the teachers bullying the students, you know, the children of nowadays will not take any nonsense. They regard it as nonsense. Then not only that, we have to, during perhaps when they have a health talk or they have debates and other things, we have to train them. Let them know that they are brothers and sisters.
A guidance counselor, Dr. Fatai Woduni, spoke on detrimental effects of bullying on students' mental and emotional well-being.
Children from rich homes have been left alone untrained. These are children that when they were growing up, they were left to the housemaid and the driver to care for. The housemaid would feed them, the driver would drop them at school. No family, social support, no love. The children are manifesting what they watch in action movies on TV. They do not know differences between movie making and reality. They see bullying, they see killing, they watch war films, war games. So then as they are growing, they are manifesting all these things. You know, bullying is a kind of madness on the part of the person that is actually doing it. You know, you are trying to fight the society, you are trying to fight nature, you are not comfortable with what God has done, you want to fight back. You want to fight back at nature. There's nothing called nature than abstract. You want to fight the situation around you, you want to fight God. You don't see him, now find this creature. So let me show you. So it displays aggression.
The respondents stressed that condemning bullying alone is not sufficient. Institutions must collaborate to cultivate.
On the foreign scene. Kenya's President William Ruto has declared Friday a public holiday to mourn the 238 people who have died due to ongoing flooding. The president today said the day will be observed by national tree planting activities to help mitigate the effects of climate change. Recently, Kenya and some other 1,000 people were displaced and living in camps. President Ruto also announced the reopening of schools countrywide after 2 weeks' delay due to heavy rains that have destroyed hundreds of schools. The government had said that more than 1,000 schools were affected by the heavy rains and flooding. So funds had been set aside for renovations.
Meanwhile, the United Nations expressed concern after several cases of cholera were reported in flood-stricken Kenya. According to the World Health Organization, 44 cases of the disease have been reported in Tana River County in eastern Kenya, one of the areas hardest hit in weeks of destructive rains and flooding. The UN's resident coordinator in Kenya, Stephen Jackson, stated that this in an interview with the aid of government, national as well as international partners, this disease can be contained. Cholera, which is an acute intestinal infection that's first for young children. WHO.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. The House of Representatives has stepped down a motion calling for the suspension of the cybersecurity levy, which has elicited negative reactions from Nigerians.
Oyo State House of Assembly has urged the executive arm to conduct a comprehensive investigation of some absconded staffers across ministries, agencies, and parastatals.
The Rivers State chapter of the Association of Local Government Areas of Nigeria, ALGON, has accused Governor Siminalayi Mufubara of withholding funds meant for LGAs in the state.
And Kenya's President William Ruto has declared Friday a public holiday to mourn the 238 people who have died due to ongoing flooding.
That's all from Newscope Desk. For now, it was packaged by Mary Adedapo and delivered by
Dotun Olaiton
and Oyebola Adeshola. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8. Good evening.
The news.
Ọmọọba, ṣé ò ní lọ síta kó lọ gbatẹ́gùn díẹ̀?
Ọmọ tí rẹ̀ mi.
Ó dáná, ṣì lè lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn báyìí. Ikọ́ rẹ̀ ti ń ka ọjọ́ púpọ̀, ó sì ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ru. Ó lè jẹ́ àìsàn ikọ́ ife o. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kí n rírú ẹ̀. Adéyẹra, báwo ló ṣe máa sọ nǹkan báyìí? Wípé ọmọ ọdún 5 ó ní ikọ́ ife. Ṣebí ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀ ló ń gba ìtọ́jú fún àìsàn ikọ́ ife báyìí. Ẹ lọ ṣe àyẹ̀wò kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ dájú o.
Àwọn ọmọdé náà lè ní àìsàn ikọ́ ife tí wọ́n bá ti ní ìfarora pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ní àìsàn ikọ́ ife. Ọ̀fẹ́ ní àyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú àìsàn ikọ́ ife. Ẹ pè nọ́mbà yìí 3340 tàbí *3340# fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Ìkéde yìí wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ àjọ tó ń mójútó ìlera tìjọba àpapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn èèyàn ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà.
Wọ̀kúwọ̀kú ló rọrùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ láti kéde nílé akéde Tọ̀yọ́ ni. Ó nílò kó o ṣẹ̀ mọ́ dára rẹ̀ láàmú sọ pé òun wọkọ̀ bọ̀ wá sílé akéde lóríta Basọ̀rún ìlú Ìbàdàn mọ́. Pàápàá jùlọ láti ṣe ìkéde yẹn, polówó ọjà yẹn tàbí fi ń tọ́tọ́ tó sì yẹ tó àwọn aráàlú létí bóyá nípa àpàdé, nípa àsọjí àbí nǹkan kan àbómi ìtẹ́bálẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe. Ẹ torí agbágbé àgbáyé kẹ́ ẹ̀ náà tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe hàn wá 091 5870 3300 lórí agbágbé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ WhatsApp nọ́mbà yìí kan náà mọ̀ ní ọ̀rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ stress free courtesy BCOS. You don't have to stress yourself coming down to Ilé Akéde Oríta Basọ̀rún Ìbàdàn again to make that announcement or place that advert. Book online, personal paid announcements, obituaries, or in memoriam, annual conventions, workshops, crusades, social diaries, inter-house sport competitions, musical shows or concerts, and other promotions. Very simple. Go online to book for transmission on BCOS radio channels or BCOS TV, or simply call 091 5870 3300 or WhatsApp on the same number 091 5870 3300. BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own.
Àkìdélé sí oníkìńlá kí oníyìn láyìn èèyàn tí ò mọ ní délé ò lè bójú lè ja oríkì ẹni débi kó kíni kórí ẹni ó wú. Ọgbà àbáago 11 bá ti ń kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 5 àárọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀. Ìkànnì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM Ilé Akéde Oríta Basọ̀rún Ìbàdàn á tó mì tìtì yàtọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀tò yín ètò wa Àkìdélé látẹnu àgbà pèdèpèdè nẹ̀ Abíádémọ̀rádéyọ̀ ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà ó tún ṣe gorí atẹ́gùn lákọ̀tún. Ìwọlé jẹ́ ìdílé Oníkòyí kọ́rẹ́ rẹ̀ ó jẹ́ ìdílé Ọlọ́fàmọ́jọ kìíní ọ̀ ń yà lọ́tọ̀ wọn ò jọra wọn. Èyíkéyìí ó wá wù kórìkì ìdílé tàbí tìlú rẹ̀ ó jẹ́ àfàìpè sórí ètò Àkìdélé lórí ìkànnì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM Ilé Akéde Oríta Basọ̀rún Ìbàdàn lóníkálukú òní kí oríkì ìdílé tàbí tìlú ẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀rọ agbágbé ọgbà bí Abíádémọ̀rádéyọ̀ ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà bá ti kí oríkì tó mú wá délẹ̀ lẹ́yìn aráàlú náà ti láǹfààní àti pè sórí ètò kíra yín báago 11 bá ti ń kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 5 àárọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ètò Àkìdélé kíngé lọ́bẹ̀ ó gé.